Good day, guys. I really want to talk about the trilogy DC versus Stipe 3. The fight will go down on August 15th, which is going to be 2 weeks away from today. Not from today, but obviously from this week. And I'm very excited to see the fight go down. This is going to be DC's last fight in his UFC career and his mixed martial arts career in general. DC's been a great role model. He's been a great influence for a lot of mixed martial artists all around the world and for a lot of fans out there. He came from a Division I background, one of the best Division I wrestling schools in the history of the country, Oklahoma State. He represented the United States in the Olympics as well, and he still continues to do a lot of good today, especially in the sport. He's a UFC commentator, a UFC analyst. He's currently a UFC fighter as well, and he's going to continue to do all that kind of stuff even after he retires from fighting. And he's most likely going to be in the UFC Hall of Fame in 2022. So, to the power of DC, he's been great the whole entire time, and he will probably end up getting a major role with ESPN in the very future, since he does have his own detailed series on ESPN Plus. He's a successful guy and will still continue to be a successful guy, and I'm really interested about this fight, and it can definitely go several ways. This is a trilogy. This will be round number 3. Round number 1 ended in the first round when DC hit Stipe with a right hook, and he ended up countering him because when Stipe goes in and he tries to throw a combination or basically exchanges blows, he keeps his hands a little bit low, and DC was able to capitalize off that, knocked him out in the first round, became the second double champ in UFC history. After that, they had the second go around, and Stipe definitely conditioned his chin a whole lot more than he had during the first fight. It was a barn burner. DC was throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, and I really thought with some of those shots that DC was hitting him with that Stipe would get knocked out, he would go down, but he absolutely did not. And even though that Stipe did kind of get taken down maybe like once or twice in that fight, it's been such a long time since I've seen it that I can't really remember. He was able to get back up, even defend some of the takedowns that DC was trying to throw at him as well. And when the time came, he decided to utilize his body shots, and DC for some reason didn't want to defend against the body shots. And at one point, all those body shots that Stipe was throwing were accumulating and accumulating and accumulating, all in the same spot, to the point where DC couldn't take it anymore. One body shot, which was probably maybe like the 10th one that he took, really hurt him, really shut down his body, and that basically gave the opening for Stipe to come in and knock him out, TKO style. And now we have the trilogy, which is going to be going on in Las Vegas UFC Apex Facility, and it's going to be an interesting one just because this is going to happen in a smaller octagon. Now, what we've seen with all these UFC Apex fights go down is that there have been a lot of wars, there have been a lot of finishes, there have been a lot of knockouts, especially knockouts, that have been going on. This fight is not going to go the full 5 rounds, and I believe DC is going to utilize a lot more of his wrestling, since there's going to be a lot less space going on within that octagon. So I think DC is definitely going to have to brush up on his defense when it comes to preventing the takedown. Also, definitely conditioning his chin once again, because both those fighters are going to collide multiple times. There's less space to work with, so exchanges are most likely going to happen. If I were Cormier, I'd go for that takedown as fast as possible and try to get a submission, just because he didn't get the knockout last time. I don't feel like he's going to knock Stipe out again, because he had such a hard time knocking him out the last time. If I were Stipe, try to keep the fight on the ground, definitely utilize the body punches again, but go in for some combinations. Don't go body hunting the whole entire time. Mix it up from body head, or maybe head body, and continue to work on a lot of things. Definitely try to work in some leg kicks, also some head kicks as well, because Stipe has the height advantage. DC has always been kind of that type of guy to face the taller guys, and he definitely takes some of those challenges. He fought John Jones, I believe it was 3 times. No, it was twice. He fought him twice, lost twice. One time was probably because John Jones was, the picograms and anything like that. The other time was when he fought Alexander Gustafsson, he fought Bigfoot Silva, he fought all these other tall guys within the division, and he's been able to overcome everything, even the powerful guys such as the Anthony Rumble Johnsons, the he ended up facing Roy Nelson, he ended up facing Dan Henderson. He's faced absolutely everybody in the heavyweight division, and also in the light heavyweight division as well, because that's where he used to fight in. And he's just an absolute legend. What can I say? And he's gonna continue to prove things, but it's definitely going to be hard for him come next 2 weeks. But we'll see what happens. But if, like I said, if I were DC going for the takedown, trying to get a submission, if we're gonna stay on the feet with him, definitely mix things up, keep him guessing, cut the angles, continue the head movement, continue the body movement as well, and just cut angles, try to get him in the clinch, try to take him down with the clinch, etc. Both these guys are absolutely powerful, and like I said, this isn't going to go the full 5 rounds. This fight is definitely going to end, I believe. Also, I'll say my official prediction and say that DC is going to win by 2nd round submission, rear naked choke. Might be a little bit fast, but I feel DC is really going to put the pressure on in the 1st round, and he's eventually going to get Stipe. Both these fighters have been inactive for a very long time, almost more than a year now. Actually, no, it's going to be it's already been a whole year, because the last time they fought was during International Fight Week, and here we are now, way past International Fight Week, and we're about to be in August, and this fight's going to go down on August 15th. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm leaning more towards DC. I think he's going to get a submission. I believe that with this eye injury that Stipe is going to be coming from, and he hasn't been training that much at all. He was really complaining about not getting access to the gym, not being able to train, being with his family. I understand being with your family, but if you're really going to be a champion, if you really want to be with your family, you gotta balance those two things out, because a lot of other fighters have families they have to go back home to as well. So, like I said, it's going to be an interesting fight. I can't wait to see it. It's definitely going to be another barn burner, but I don't see it going past 2 rounds. 2 rounds. I really think that DC is going to pull the pressure and get that submission very, very early. He's going to retire right into the sunset and see what his next his next life is with the UFC, with the sport of mixed martial arts. And I very much think that this might be Stipe's last fight as well, especially if he loses. He says he wants to spend more time with his family. I understand that completely. And I kind of feel like his love for the sport of mixed martial arts is kind of fading away, most likely because he's fought absolutely everybody in the UFC's heavyweight division, and he doesn't really have anything else to prove. He's got multiple belts in his house. He's defended the championship more than any other heavyweight fighter in the UFC promotion has ever had in the history of the promotion itself. So, like I said, maybe both these fighters might end up retiring, but it's going to be a fun fight. I can't wait to watch it. The main card's absolutely stacked as well. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Continue to keep on following me. If you guys have any comments on what I should do better in the future, or something I might have missed out on, comment below. Give me a thumbs up. Ring the notification bell. You know what to do. Later, guys.